Ever wonder why some AI products seem to change the world while others just, well, fizzle out? It's not about having the fanciest algorithm. It's about having the right blueprint. So today, we're going to break down the proven life cycle for building AI products that actually work.
Okay, this right here, this is everything. It is so easy to get completely mesmerized by the tech. You know, the huge language models, the super complex algorithms. But we've got to remember, AI is the tool. It's not the goal. The goal is always to solve a real human problem.
It's a fair question, right? You see it all the time. Teams of brilliant people spend months, sometimes years, building something technically incredible that in the end goes absolutely nowhere. The answer? Well, it's almost always because they're missing a structured process. They do it completely backwards. They build the cool tech first and then go hunting for a problem it might solve.
But here's the good news. There is a better way. This 7-stage blueprint is like a roadmap that the most successful teams use to get from a fuzzy idea all the way to a product that makes a real impact. It's all about being intentional every single step of the way.
It all kicks off with stage 1, defining the problem. And here's the absolute key. A prediction, on its own, is totally useless. I mean, it's cool to predict that a customer might leave, but so what? What are you going to do about it? The real value only appears when you link that prediction to a specific action, like, say, offering a targeted discount that drives a measurable outcome, like keeping more customers around.
So once you know your why, stage 2 is all about the what. You can have the most brilliant problem in the world, but AI needs fuel, and that fuel is data. And this is a big but, not just any data will do. This little data checklist, it's your best friend. It's not enough that the data just exists. It has to be accurate, it has to be ready when you need it, and it has to actually contain the clues you need to make your decision.
And this, right here, is exactly why that checklist is so critical. A super sophisticated AI model will happily learn all the wrong lessons from bad data. And what you'll get aren't just bad answers. You'll get very confident, very precise, and very, very wrong answers. At the end of the day, your model is only ever as good as the data you feed it.
Now we get to stage 3. This is the part everybody gets excited about, right? Building the actual model. But hold on, there's a huge mindset shift we need to make here. The goal is not to build the most technically perfect, 99.999% accurate model on the planet. The real goal is to build a model that solves the business problem. And that leads to a much better, much more practical question.
And here it is. This is the million-dollar question you need to be asking. Look, if your current human process is already 70% effective, do you really need to spend 6 more months chasing 99% accuracy? Or is a simpler 85% accurate model already good enough to make a real difference? 9 times out of 10, good enough is what gets you in the game and starts creating value now. All right, so you have a model that's good enough to help make a decision. That's great, but it's completely worthless if nobody trusts it enough to actually use it. And that brings us to stage 4. Building trust. This means stress testing your model, figuring out where it's weak, having a plan for when it messes up, because it will, and, this is so important, keeping a human in the loop, especially at the beginning. You can slowly earn that trust and move from just assisting a person to maybe full automation down the line.
I love this quote. It's just such a crucial reality check. You could have the most amazing, world-changing model ever built, but if it's just sitting on a data scientist's laptop, it has exactly 0 business value. Stage 5, deployment. That's where the rubber meets the road. It's when your model actually gets out into the world and starts doing its job.
But just because it's deployed doesn't mean you're done, not even close. Welcome to stage 6, monitoring. You've got to think of these AI products as living, breathing systems. The work is just beginning. The world changes, right? Customer behavior changes. And pretty soon, the data your model was trained on starts to look pretty stale compared to what it's seeing now. That's what we call drift. And if you're not watching it like a hawk, your awesome model will just slowly, silently stop working well.
And that brings us to the final stage, stage 7, which is really the holy grail, the AI flywheel. It's a beautiful concept. Think about Netflix or Spotify, right? The more you use the product, the more data it gets about what you like. That data makes the recommendations better. The better recommendations make you use the product more. It's this amazing virtuous cycle that just keeps getting better and better, creating a huge competitive advantage. So there you have it. That's the blueprint for success. But, sometimes the best way to learn how to do something right is to understand all the ways you can do it wrong. So let's flip this around and look at the most common product-killing traps people fall into.
Do any of these sound a little too familiar? I bet they do. You start with a cool piece of tech and then look for a problem? Yep, you're breaking stage 1. Chasing the shiniest new algorithm instead of what's good enough? That violates stage 3. Forgetting to monitor for drift after you launch? You're ignoring stage 6. See a pattern here? Each one of these classic failures is basically just skipping a step in the blueprint we just walked through.
Okay, enough theory. Theory is great, but let's see what this looks like in the real world. We're going to walk through a quick case study for a system that helps monitor at-risk patients from their homes.
Let's really dig into this because it's a perfect example. Notice the problem statement. It's not some vague technical goal like predict patient risk. It's a very real, very human problem. Nurses are overworked and can't check on everyone. So the AI doesn't just make a prediction. It drives a sharp, actionable decision. Who do we need to call today? And look at the deployment. It's not some fancy new app they have to learn. It's a simple ranked list that shows up right inside the dashboard they already use every day. So simple, so smart. And maybe the most important part? They don't measure success with some abstract model accuracy score. They measure things that actually matter, like fewer hospital admissions and a lower false alarm rate. That's how you create real value and build a product that people will actually trust and use.
So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this next part. This is the single most important takeaway. To really succeed with AI, you have to fundamentally shift how you think about building products, because it's just different from how we build traditional software. Think about it like this. Traditional software is deterministic. You click a button, and the exact same thing happens every single time. It's all based on hard-coded rules. But AI, it's probabilistic. It makes educated guesses. It's not following rules someone wrote down. It's learning the patterns from the data itself. And that's why you can't just build it and walk away. The world is always changing. The data is always changing. So these systems need constant care and feeding.
And that really brings us to the end. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Take a look around at your own world, your own work. Where are you just thinking about predicting something? And how could you reframe that? How could you turn that prediction into a specific, high-value decision that someone could act on? Because that's where the real opportunity is.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and click the notification button for more great content.